Hello, welcome to The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer, and today I'm going to review a thing. To me, YouTube is like the preschool for future actors, dancers, writers, music producers, animators, comedians, producers. You get my point. Who would have thought that a website created 10 years ago would have been one of the most popular and most famous websites in the world, having over billions of videos on it and so many people watching these videos, to even have people that contribute to making these videos on YouTube go off doing better things. Many of these YouTubers that have been really popular in the matter of these last 5 years have gone off to do so many better things with their life, as well as continue doing YouTube. Some of them have written books recently, some of them have had movies, television shows, they've made albums. So it goes to show that anybody that starts on YouTube could possibly have the chance of being like one of their favorite YouTubers. Though not many people think that it's just YouTube that started this whole media trend with being on television or pursuing a writing world of being an author. A lot of people think that all these YouTubers like Shane Dawson and Miranda Sings are following in the footsteps of the person that kind of started this media trend with being on television first. That person being Fred.
Hey, it's Fred!
Yeah, you remember Fred, the high-pitched voice 6-year-old character created by Lucas Cruikshank, who had an alcoholic for a mom, a dad who apparently was in prison, and had to spend the rest of his life wearing one shirt and being bullied by a psychopath, and hell, even being tortured by his crush. Yeah, you remember Fred, right? The Fred videos were pretty popular, with them getting millions of views every time the videos went up. And because of Fred's fame, it led him going into a world that I don't even think Lucas expected to go into. Because of the Fred videos being so popular, he managed to make 2 albums, 3 movies, though one movie shouldn't have been made at all, and a television show that only had 1 season and didn't do that well with Nickelodeon standards. And, I mean, I don't think it was a good idea to have it at all, because the Fred movies were fine without a show, or the Fred series in general. On top of that, there was Fred merchandise, and even Lucas got to have fun as he went on to going into interviews. He went to some award shows as himself or as Fred. He's been on iCarly as both himself and Fred. And even after this whole Fred phase went off, he got his own Nickelodeon show, Marvin, which also kind of had 1 season and didn't do that well. Though in my opinion, it was fine. Plus, Fred was the first one to hit 1 million subscribers in 2009. So I guess with all that evidence, it's safe to say that Fred is the one to start all of these YouTubers following in his footsteps and going out into the media world.
Wrong!
Yeah, Fred's fame started in 2009. There was a previous YouTuber in 2008, or YouTubers I should say, that actually kind of had their fame before Fred. These 2 YouTubers are Ryan Higa and Sean Fugiyoshi, aka Nigahiga. Nigahiga till this date is still making videos. It's formed by Ryan Higa and Sean Fugiyoshi, who has had an absence for a while in the mid of 2009 to 2013. They make videos with their friends Will, Greg, and Derek now, and they are pretty hilarious. Though before Will, Greg, and Derek, Ryan and Sean, along with some other friends like Tim, and I think Ryan's brother Kyle, and a girl, they all made videos as well back in 2006. And you know what they were about? I don't know. Because they're taken off of YouTube due to copyright infringement. Apparently back then it was a big deal that if you had a song that was copyrighted in your video, it would be taken down. I mean, that kind of still happens today, but not as much. Because I see videos that have copyrighted songs all the time, and nothing's done about it. Though I don't know if Ryan and Sean got their fame from these videos with the copyrighted songs of them lip-syncing and dancing to these songs, I do know they got their fame off the little skits they did, such as the How to Be Whatever video. They made videos such as How to Be Ninja, Gangster Nerd, Emo, And they were pretty funny, and they continued doing some skits with their friends, and that's kind of what made them get fame. But what exactly did they do? What kind of media source did they have before Fred had his movies, before The Annoying Orange had his TV show, and before I Justine and Shane Dawson wrote books? Well, Ryan and Sean had a movie. It was called Ryan and Sean's Not So Excellent Adventure and was put out in 2008. If I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of this movie in my life. Well, I mean, like, now I have because I've seen it multiple times. But in 2008, I've never seen trailers for it. I've never seen any promos or posters for it. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know who Ryan and Sean were. Once I heard about it, I instantly downloaded it into my iPod Nano and I physically watched it over and over again because I really liked it. It was funny, it was interesting, and then I stopped watching it for a while. It wasn't until I watched it recently to realize, well, what I find funny back then is still funny, but what I find interesting back then, very minor. So what's the point I'm trying to get here? Was it a good film or a bad film? Well, let's find that out together. Let's dive right into Ryan and Sean's Not So Excellent Adventure. So I guess the first source of evidence of why I've never heard of this film is because I don't know who these people are. We're physically 10 seconds into the movie and we've been introduced to people that I've never heard of, a production company I've never heard of. I just never heard of this, okay? Also, I guess it's good to point out that the title and, I guess, movie itself is a parody of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So, I guess we know what we're gonna expect. Anyways, so after 2 minutes of opening credits, we get a nice scene of California, a hot girl in the scene, and Michael Buckley. Huh. Well, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Like, okay, if you don't know who Michael Buckley is, he is also a YouTuber, so I guess that technically means both Ryan and Sean and Michael Buckley are the first YouTubers to hit the media in 2008. Michael Buckley had a show, or I think still has a show, called What the Buck on YouTube. It's like a news thing on YouTube. I used to watch it. But don't think that this is, I don't think this is like a bad thing that Michael Buckley is in this film. I mean, he does play a pretty good character in this film. He plays a character called Horace Carmez, and the way that this character is described throughout these scenes, I can honestly say I believe that he is this character. It's one of those rare moments where you just watch somebody play a role and you can just tell this is him. This person is this character. Michael Buckley plays a really good job portraying this character, so there's really nothing I have to complain about him. I don't think that he was a bad choice at all for picking for this role. I'm just a little curious on how he got the role itself. Like, out of all people, both Ryan, Sean, and him are all YouTube celebrities. There are no other YouTubers in this movie, at least I don't think so. I don't know anybody else, so how did he get in this film? Like, what brought his name up into playing this role? Anyway, back into the story. Like I said, Michael Buckley plays a character named Horace Carmez, who is described in the trailer to be a down-on-his-luck filmmaker. Not really clarified whether he's a television or movie producer, so we're just gonna say he's a filmmaker for the heck of it. His first scene is with having a discussion with what I'm assuming is his boss named RJ, who tells him that he hasn't had a hit in over a year and he will be fired if he doesn't come up with something great. But Carmez, being the desperate person that he is, wants to keep his job and lies to his boss, saying on how he's coming up with the most greatest production yet. And with RJ believing him, he gives him 30 days to make this a big hit or else he gets fired. We then get introduced to his little buddy, Ink. Get it? Because little buddy, because Ink is, okay. Who finds out that Carmez lied to RJ, seeing on how he has absolutely nothing, and Ink kind of gives him a little inspiration, saying on how the next big thing could be right around the corner. Which is where we see a shot of Carmez watching one of Ryan and Sean's videos. Even though a few seconds ago it was a music place, but okay. So apparently because it's blinking on the screen saying on how many views the video's got and that they're the top video on YouTube, Carmez wants Ryan and Sean in his next production, seeing how they're very popular. A few seconds later, we get introduced to a character named Simon. That's not the name! Sorry, TSM, which stands for the Stalking Mangina, as a reference to one of the Nigahiga videos.
Anyway, did I hear him say Ryan and Sean? The same Ryan and Sean from YouTube?
No, you didn't, because he never said their names. He said these guys. Never said Ryan and Sean. Okay. So, we're 5 minutes in, and we finally get a scene with Ryan and Sean, who get the call from Carmez saying on how they're going to be in his next production.
There's my chance to get pictures, autographs, articles of clothing. I might even be able to get some DNA. My shrine will be complete. Yes!
Okay. Talk about #1 fans, right?
Yeah! I'm okay. That's what he keeps telling me. Who are you talking to?
Oh yeah, embrace yourself. There's a running gag where Ryan keeps on breaking the fourth wall and Sean doesn't understand. Because we need that in this film. Oh yeah, and look at that. The movie gives them t-shirts that they never wear in videos. We then get a shot of Ryan and Sean both packing for their trip to Hollywood, which I have to admit is pretty funny. And then we... What? What's going on?
Oh Lord, please give me this chance, Lord, to meet Ryan and Sean.
What? Wait a minute,
Give
what?
me a chance to get a lock of their hair, possibly even their underwear, with a skid mark in them. Please, Lord. Oh, you are the Lord. Oh, I can feel you in my veins. Oh, oh.
Hey, you got...
What are you doing?
I'm washing my face.
Oh. Why?
I feel... dirty.
Oh. In that case. Do you have any jump rope cables?
So we then get a shot of Ryan and Sean getting ready to travel to Hollywood without their parents, because we're ignoring the fact they're about like 19 in this movie, because if you travel with your parents, you're apparently not cool. As they both plan on traveling to Hollywood by bike, which apparently Ryan found. So they get on the bike and start traveling to Hollywood, but the bike soon runs out of gas, even though it just stands in a green screen area, as no moving backgrounds seem to be causing it to run out of gas. Seeing on how they might be late for their flight, they want to get a ride from somebody, and so they get picked up by a guy who might be a killer. Okay, scratch that. From a guy who actually is a killer, and it scares the life out of both Ryan and Sean, and they steal his Jeep. Oh yeah, that's a nice shot of the cameraman as well. I just like how the editor just doesn't realize any of this and is too lazy to say, hey, we gotta reshoot this because this guy's face is through the mirror. You can physically see it. Oh, there we go with those weird transitions again with Ryan and Sean just running... What are these? What kind of transition are... They're not bad, I'm just like... I don't get it.
You guys want to be funny boys while you're lying. Huh? Well, I'll show you funny.
Sean didn't mean anything. He's sorry for what he said.
So,
Wait, what happened? They got caught by a security guard in the airport, like, and it's not even explained? What happened? What did Sean say? Well, whatever the case is, they get out of this little issue by farting. 'Cause farting. So they get on their plane and... Wait, they don't live in Hawaii? I was informed that Ryan and Sean grew up in Hawaii. Where do they live? It's obviously shown that they live in a different country. and they're flying to California from where exactly? It's not established. Well, wherever they're from, they land in California from their weird little flight. They get off the plane and run into Ink, who's been waiting for them to take back to the studio. Oh, and we get a whole bunch of, like, you know, little jokes because, you know, Ink yeah, you get it.
What do you think I am, the paparazzi guys? I'm your biggest fan.
I doubt they can hear you because they just drove away and all the windows are shut. You're kind of freaking me out, TSM. It's a little scary.
I think it's time for some hardcore music. Yeah! 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 I'm so excited tonight. Gonna call on my girls, time to ride.
Okay. So this is a thing. They just turn on the song and they all know the lyrics and they're lip syncing to it. And it's a sing-along. Okay. It's a good 3 minutes of the movie not needed. I mean, in my opinion, the song isn't even a good song. It's actually just a piece of crap.
What the hell?
Get why I did the joke? Because crap fell on. Yeah, I'm not on a roll today, I know. So they finally drive into the studios to where Ryan and Sean walk out of the car and they get panned by people they don't know and embarrassed by girls who, I don't know why they're doing that, but they don't know they've been pantsed. I mean, they feel a breeze, but again, this isn't needed. I get it's funny, like, I get why it's in, because it's comedy, but I don't see a need for it. It doesn't go anywhere, and these guys are never brought up again. The guys that pants them, they're never shown again. So Ryan and Sean both finally make it to the studio, and
pull up your pants, you morons.
okay, they pull their pants up, and they finally meet Carmez, and TSM is apparently magically better, as he's shown to be listening into the conversation without a broken leg, and then it switches over to a weird cowboy scene. I mean, again, the cowboy scene is funny, but why is it here? So after that, they get on the topic of money-wise, saying on how they'll get 20% of the cash, but Ryan doesn't think that's fair. And even though the amount keeps on going up, Ryan doesn't think it's fair, and they both want to walk out seeing on how they're not going to get a fair price of the money. But because Carmez is desperate and explains his little predicament to both of them, they agree to stay and help Carmez succeed at his job. They also go over contracts, and Carmez says that they need a makeover, seeing on how they need to redo their image if they're going to be big movie stars. So Carmez sets up an appointment at... Oh my god, what are we doing now? Boys and girls, we're gonna stop the comedy genre right now and turn this movie into a horror film if you don't mind. Seriously, this scene is kind of a little creepy, especially with this guy. Oh, yeah, and just so you guys know, that character is Helga. Know how I know? 'Cause she's in a video. She's in a video. It's played by a guy. Yeah, their friend Tim got to be in this movie, except he's not playing Tim, he's playing his character. Why? I don't know. So the scenes just keep on getting a little weird and scarier. Oh, Jesus! And the award for the worst fight scenes go to these people. Congratulations! So we get introduced to Ink's girlfriend, Brunhilde, who is sent to bring Ryan and Sean to their next appointment, which happens to be... dance class? Okay, I thought this was a movie about two internet stars going to be in movies, acting and stuff, doing auditions. Where are the auditions Carmez mentioned? Why are they in dance class? I mean, it kind of makes sense at the end, but it's just like a question, why? Just like, it comes out of nowhere. I don't know if it's because they wanted cool dance moves for the trailer or anything. It just really doesn't make sense in my head. And to make things even better, they managed to turn it into an American Idol parody. The next few scenes I really don't have any comments on other than the fact on how they're absolutely hilarious because they mostly just deal with Ryan and Sean having issues at a restaurant and a little issue running into a security guard. There's really nothing for me to complain about here, so I guess we'll just move on to the hotel room where Ink is. Yep, that's how you know it's a Nigahiga movie. The next day, Ryan and Sean wake up to realize they have an appointment with their trainer at the gym.
Are you our trainer?
Oh, hell no. Do I look like a trainer? I'm a pro. Good luck, though.
And he was never seen again. It's kind of common in this movie if you think about it. They meet Vlad, who is their real trainer, who does the worst Arnold Schwarzenegger impression ever. I know I said his last name wrong, but bear with me, I don't know it. Please. Please don't judge me. Anyway, so there's a workout montage that is pretty hilarious to watch, and then they meet people named the Flickers. And this is a really confusing scene because they ask how the movie's going, and I don't know if they're trying to break the fourth wall, saying on, how's this movie going, the movie they're in right now. I don't know exactly what kind of conversation they're having, so we're just gonna ignore it.
Come on, Sean, let's go. You're the crazy one, but it's driving me crazy.
Wait, is this the conflict of the film? Do we finally get a conflict? Do Ryan and Sean get in an argument and decide to go their separate ways? Well, nope, looks like I was wrong, because now they're at vocal lessons, where they sing. Why? Anyway, so they go to their vocal lessons and sing their song, Yank That Camel Toe, which was an actual song they sung in their video. Anyway, they're told they have auditions now, but before they have to go to auditions, they go to a spa first, which includes getting a tan and also having a massage. They finally get to the auditions, and the director is one big dick to them. I mean, believe me, he's an idiot. The auditions include them parodying scenes from High School Musical, The Blues Brothers, and Zack and Cody. And from what it looks like they filmed a James Bond parody because they're shown watching it in Carmez's room. When Ryan and Sean realize that what Carmez has planned for them is mostly just remakes, they decide to just walk out on him, seeing on how they just don't want to recreate other people's work.
I hate to see a grown man cry. Yeah, me too.
Okay, that's creepy. As they're leaving, they meet fans, which leads to nothing. As they leave back to go home to wherever they live, Ink shows up a minute too late saying on how he's got the script that they've been waiting for, but again, it's too late and it turns out that he's going to be losing his job. Oh, and TSM is revealed to be the guy that's been ruining their lives throughout the film. You know, the guy that's been interfering with them, kind of causing trouble. I mean, I didn't see it at first, so it was actually pretty shocking.
Oh well, that takes care of that.
Oh well? What do you mean, oh well? You make no sense, Simon!
Sean, hey Sean, wake up.
Oh, great. So this whole film was a dream. Nice.
What's that smell? I thought that was you. No, something else.
Oh, I get it. So the film was all in Ryan's dream, but he actually dreamt that it was real, but it was actually real, and so the script that Ink wrote, or Carmez wrote, was sent to them, and they thought it was a dream.
That makes perfect sense!
Well, whatever the case was, that was Ryan and Sean's not-so-excellent adventure. What did I think of it? It was okay, and here's why. I will admit, this film is absolutely funny. It has Ryan and Sean all over it. It's the one thing that makes this film good. Ryan and Sean are absolutely hilarious in it. There's not one scene that they're ever serious, including the scene that had a little conflict in it. And it's not the matter that they tell jokes. They rarely tell any jokes. They make puns. They act goofy. They're the typical Ryan and Sean you would expect in the video. And that's because the people that made this movie didn't change Ryan and Sean. Something that happened to Fred was that when he made movies and TV shows, he changed. He changed his outfit, his age was changed, his personality changed a little. Ryan and Sean rarely changed in this movie. They're the same people that you would expect to be in the videos. So this film has absolutely nothing but comedy, and that's what I praise about this film. And the characters are also pretty good as well, but I can't give it a good film rating because it's not that good. Just like The Fake and the Fabulous, this plot is everywhere. One minute you have this happening, another minute you have this. Some things don't make sense. I don't know why that's there. It's just everywhere, this plot. And it's pretty elaborate on what this plot is. It's a down-on-his-luck producer needs a miracle, so he turns to the internet. The trailer said it all. And yes, that's exactly what this movie is, but with all these extra scenes that just don't make sense, I don't see how I can give it a good rating if all this is happening. And also, one last note, I do have to give the movie credit for doing something that I didn't expect at the end, where the good guy loses. Carmez did nothing bad in this film, and you would think that he would succeed with making Ryan and Sean famous, when in actuality, it looks to be that he failed. Ryan and Sean walked out on him, and it looks like both him and Ink lose their jobs. It's not shown, but it looks it, seeing on how Ink said he's got to go back working at all these other jobs, you know? So it was nice to see a little twist, you know? We rarely get that anymore in these films. But nevertheless, this is a very funny film. I don't think it's safe for kids. It's not. I don't know if it's a family film, actually. But I would suggest that if you are a fan of Ryan and Sean, to see this movie, it is pretty good. So that's what I think about Ryan and Sean's Not So Excellent Adventure, but I want to hear what you people think down in the comments. Have you or have you not seen this movie? If you have, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Also, do you watch Ryan and Sean's videos? Are you still a fan of them? Do you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video? Tell me in the comments, and also leave me your suggestions for whatever movie, TV show, or random thing you want me to talk about next. Thanks for watching The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer, and you just saw me review a thing.
I gotta go.
Hey, cool, that didn't hurt a bit.
Yeah, that didn't hurt at all.